Ready? Action! Hey guys, welcome back to another official video on this series of how to film production. What I'll be going over today is an in-depth explanation on what I had discussed last time we went over the basics of Adobe Premiere Pro and update you guys on how my channel is doing. So with that, let's get into it. First off, let's continue where we left off last time. When I first went over what Adobe Premiere Pro was, I had just given you guys the basics of what each workspace, tool, and effect was. Today I'll be going to explain more about how each of them works, specifically the workspaces. So, as you can see down below in my timeline and media box, I have a couple clips that I'll be experimenting with as we go over the different parts. Now, as you can see, we're on the learning workspace. Just like before, this is fairly simple. It shows you a learning panel that includes several articles you can look at in order to learn more about the software and how it works. And on this huge group of panels is first the source panel, which acts like a preview for the clip you wish to use. How does it work? Well, if I click down here on my video, it shows up in the panel up here. Through this panel, I'm able to preview which part of my clip I would like to use, and by adding an in and out marker, I can decide which part I want. The shortcut for this tool is the I button on your keyboard for the starting mark and O for the end. Now there's multiple ways I can put this on my timeline. I can either drag from the video itself, or I can use these two icons here. However, if I were to drag from this film icon here, I only drag the video part of my clip. And if I drag from the audio icon here, I only drag the audio part of my clip. As when recording a video, you can break it down through video or audio, so these two come in handy if you want to use one over the other. And if you're too lazy to drag everything, there's a button here which you can click that will do the work for you. However, do be aware of where you're placing your clip, as this cursor here determines where the video goes. Now you must be wondering how I got my video in this box here. I like to call this box the medium box, because it's where all photos, graphics, audio, and video are imported. To import all your materials into this box, make sure to select this panel. You can then either use the shortcut by pressing Command and I on your keyboard, or double click and select import. I suggest using the shortcut though. You can also import folders of your materials or create folders by clicking this icon here to keep your things organized. Next panel is the timeline. The timeline panel is where all the work happens. As you can see, there are two different parts to the timeline. From this line up is where your video is placed, and from this line down is where your audio is placed. You can use the line here to adjust how you'd like to view your materials. You can also minimize or expand the look of everything by clicking this icon here and choosing either of these two. There are multiple tracks available so that you may work on multiple things. And with this icon here, you can either hide the videos or mute the audio on particular tracks. This icon here controls the lock toggle and doesn't allow whatever is on the track to be edited on or moved. And here's the audio panel, which allows us to watch over how loud or soft our audio is. Last but not least, here's the program panel. It acts like a live feed of what your video would look as if it were to show on TV. As you can see, when I play through my timeline, it shows exactly how the video would turn out when I've completed my project. That's all there is to it. Now keep in mind this setup will be the same for the majority of the workspaces, so I won't go over everything again and again. However, they will change in appearance based on what the workspaces focus on. Moving to the assembly workspace, it is the exact same thing as the learning workspace, except without the learning and source panel. Same goes for the editing workspace. However, it does have the source panel and everything is much larger so you can focus more on what you're doing. Next is the color workspace. Same setup, but this time we have this panel here. This is how I color correct. Since this is still the beginner's video, I will just show you the basics correction. But as you can see, there are more ways to color correct. With the basic correction, you can control things such as white balance, exposure, highlight, shadow, and etc. You do so by dragging this ball here or hold the numbers here and drag your mouse side to side or up and down. You can also type in the numbers. The same goes for all the other parts. Next is the effects workspace. Same setup with a new panel. This panel allows you to have a better view on the different effects. all the effects are organized based on what they're for. And if I were to click on this arrow here, it allows me to see the different types of effects. And to use it, you simply drag it onto the video. You can control them and make them work in certain ways through this source panel, like so. With the audio workspace, you can control the volume levels. As you can see, the panels look totally different, but don't worry, it's the same. Right here is your medium panel, which is elongated. Though you can see now that the source panel has changed into an audio mixer. These different mixers represent the different audio tracks. Here we have one that controls everything in the first track, then the second, then the third. You can see how they work as I continue to play these clips. And you can control the volume levels using this knob right here. When editing audio, make sure the levels do not peak above this yellow color right here. If it does, you may hear some popping or static. With the graphics workspace, Adobe Premiere Pro has created templates to use for your video. As I scroll down, you can see the various template designs they have to offer. To use them, you can simply drag them onto your timeline, double click on the clip, and then another panel will appear. Here you can control the text, location, scale, and opacity of the graphics. As for the library workspace, there isn't much use to it. As you can see, it simply holds my color palette that I use for creating graphics of my own. And that's all I have on learning the in-depth use of each workspace. I highly recommend practicing using the different workspaces, more so editing, color, effects, audio, and graphics. Now, before I end this video, let me update you guys on my channel. Thank you all for tuning in and watching my videos as always, and I just wanted to mention how your guys' interactions have contributed to my slowly increasing success on my channel. So first off, I've noticed my impression click-through rate has reached 8.5%. This tells me that the appearance aspect of my videos have been doing well in catching your attention. I shall continue using this concept to hopefully keep you guys interested in my content. In terms of where you are all finding my videos, it seems the majority of you find them on YouTube itself. I suppose this means that YouTube has been recommending my content here and there, which amazes me because I wouldn't have thought my videos would show up on your home pages or when key terms related to my content is searched up. My average view duration is 2 minutes and 17 seconds, which tells me you guys are enjoying the majority of my videos. I have 8 unique viewers who always tune in to see what my videos have popped up on my channel, which is awesome, and hopefully I can get this number to increase as I continue to create videos. Unfortunately, I don't have enough data on who and where my viewers are coming from, but I hope to see some solid data on that soon. A whole bunch of you are watching my videos on your computers, which is good for me, as my target audience are those who work on computers. In terms of comments, likes, and shares, there isn't any data regarding that, but hopefully I'll be able to see an increase as I create more videos. So, next video, I'll be going over some basics on camera and camera shots. If you don't have an actual digital camera, that's totally fine since I don't have one myself. How ironic. So instead, I'll show you the shots using my phone. And that's all for this video. As always, leave a like, subscribe, and if you guys have any questions regarding what I talked about or would like to know more about, please do leave a comment down below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Cut!